G'day guys, welcome back to another Fedicam episode. In this week's episode, we speak and recap about our recent trip to Thailand, Phuket, where we joined our boy Sem on a fight camp, a professional Muay Thai fight camp in preparation for his upcoming fight. We also recap what it takes to travel, us boys, some things we learned about each other, navigating different personalities and whatnot, stories, memories, the whole shebang. You guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Enjoy the episode.
But then this guy...
Yeah.
Wallah, he pressured me. Do you know that? Because he reminded me of, that little cat in Shrek?
Huh?
You know Shrek? When
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah. Bruh, the way he begged me, and then I started thinking, I'm like, I've been in his shoes in the past, okay? He hasn't experienced it. I'm like, you know what? And you boys are being a bad buzz as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it for the sake of doing it.
Mashallah.
Wallah, this guy's smile was crazy. He was happy, but I was really happy for him.
But you also, I remember you guys bargaining.
Even after, I think
I think that was quality time for them as well.
But the thing is, I actually loved it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, because I always loved doing jet skis.
Until the end.
And then, we almost got, what's it called?
Ripped off? Okay.
Ripped off, yeah. Oh, not ripped off, but like
Accused.
Scammed.
scammed, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into the episode. For those that are listening, you might have seen the boys. We recently went on a trip to Thailand, and this is being shortly recorded, maybe a month later or something. Exactly a month after the trip. So we wanted to do a bit of a recap, our experiences like going to Thailand and whatnot. And I wanted to start off the podcast by like asking the boys, did you guys have obviously pre-notions coming to Thailand? Because I know some of us have traveled, some of us haven't like traveled to like Thailand. And obviously the scenario of the trip or the vibe of the trip is different because you're not traveling individually or with one other person. You're traveling with technically 8 other people, like including, let's say, Sem and stuff, you know what I mean? It's going to be a different vibe to the trip. So pre-notions going into the trip and whatnot. Who wants to take it off?
I think for me, my last trip was a solo trip. So it was complete opposite to this type of trip. So going in, I don't think I realized going in it was going to be so different. I don't know why. It's just like, I traveled recently, it'll be good, fun with the boys. But then I forget how different it is traveling with, especially a group. Like it's actually not common. I can't remember the last time I did that as well. We could have done it a few years ago because it's different to family.
Didn't you do it in
January, but that's one person.
Didn't you travel with all the boys? Those guys around Spain and Morocco and stuff?
That was last.
That was last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
but
last
then-
year.
Yeah, it was last year. It was actually last year. But then in terms of my last trip, it was a long period of time as well by myself. So that's what obviously you get used to. So going in, I didn't think much, man, because, you think of Southeast Asian countries and you think, we're just going to relax, do a few things here and there. It's not much of a rush compared to other places maybe. But because I've been there before. Last time I was there, it was only for 2 days or so. So I think it was just enough where it's like, I do want to go again, and it'll probably be even better with some boys. But I want to know with Barissa, because he's been there a few times.
Firstly, they don't know who Barissa or might be or whatever. Barissa's normally behind the cameras. He's came on a couple episodes already. He's going to be joining us because he tagged along on the trip. Seuss didn't come, work. So alhamdulillah, Ahmed and Barissa came. So inshallah, they'll be jumping on this app.
When was the last time he was on?
NAF camp.
Tell us.
The NAF camp one.
NAF camp, that's not that long ago.
So people know.
Yeah,
Good few months, yeah.
he's known Barissa, mashallah.
What was the question?
Because I want to know, because you've been a few times.
Yep.
So
What's a few, by the way?
you tell me, Barissa, how many times?
Uh,
Keeps changing.
It was the 7th time,
Mashallah.
that trip, yeah.
Okay. And most times you went with a group of boys, yeah?
On 3 different occasions, I went with 3 different
Okay.
people, type of people. So
Can I ask one thing?
groups,
Because this
yeah.
is going to determine if you get off now and Ahmed comes on. Was our one the best one?
it was. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It was. It was the shortest and it was the best.
And that's the first time, obviously, you traveling, like sort of like with us. Technically, it was our first travel as well, but we've been on a getaway before and all that kind
Not
of stuff.
overseas, man.
Not overseas, yeah. But did you have pre-notions coming to that trip? Like, what was your thoughts?
For me, look, I've been to Phuket multiple times. I've been on my own. I've been with a group of friends, with a business partner as well. So I knew what to expect. So I'm like, we're gonna get there, go to the islands, see Patong, go to Bangalore Road and all that. See the all the different stuff that goes on there. But I think for us, we kind of had an intention as well. We said we're gonna go for like a Muay Thai, like not a camp, but like we're gonna attend sessions there to even train with one of our friends there, Sam. So I'm like, you know what? I had high expectations. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go there. Not only enjoy the camp, but be able to admire the country with you guys. So
Yeah.
I felt like
Last time was it
keen,
just like the boys island hopping vibes, late nights? Was that kind of because this is very different. We were like literally training either most days 2 sessions, literally most days 2 sessions. That was our day, plus having fun. Like last time, what was it? Was it just straight vibes?
straight vibes. So I went during COVID. The last time I went to Thailand, and it was just before COVID. And, going to Thailand, you're like, I'm just going to go to islands, see some, like, go to the tourist sites and do activities and stuff. But the different thing about this trip was that, like, we got to go and experience something new. And, like, me coming from a soccer background, I wasn't really into fighting and boxing and all that. So,
Did you do boxing when you were younger?
I did boxing a little bit.
Yeah.
I started training, but then I stopped because it just took up a lot of my time, and I wanted to have my attention on soccer. But just the fact that I knew that we're going to go there for like a fight camp or like fight for a few days, I'm like, you know what, this would be cool.
Yeah.
And we obviously have our inside jokes about who's the strongest amongst us.
Hey, you started that, bro.
Who can wrestle?
This guy started that, man.
And I put myself up there, so I'm like, you know what, I got to prove it to you guys.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk.
think that was good. There was like, because inshallah we'll get to do trips where you're exploring, you're being a tourist, or you're just the boys hanging out. But it was sick that we got to get 2 different things. Like the idea of your mates having a fight camp before his next MMA fight, and you tag along, and you see him in his element, and then you literally do that once, twice a day, and then you go have fun with your mates. So you're getting 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
It's actually a mad experience, And even I thought about it, like going to Thailand and training again would be amazing, but like going by yourself and then training that 10 a.m. session, then 4 p.m. It's not as fun as doing it with your mates or knowing Sam's coming and his brothers and stuff like that.
Yes.
There's so much more to it. It wouldn't be if you go now for the next week. It wouldn't be the same level of enjoyment. It'd be nice, but not a memory for the rest of your life and stuff.
It's literally a one in a lifetime type of like trip, and even like how the trip came to be, just so like for people to understand in that we had no plan of like even traveling anytime at the second half of the year or whatnot.
We've never even said, we've been doing the podcast 4 years.
Yeah.
We've never had like a fair decom goal, like travel once a year together, travel, blah, blah, blah. We've never had that as a goal.
Exactly, And obviously, like due to circumstances, commitments, most of us working pretty much from part-time to full-time. Pretty much everyone works here full-time, It's pretty hard to organize something along those lines. You're married, Ashraf, and whatnot. And like I remember Bristol wasn't even there the day when it got planned. So basically, we recorded an episode with Sem just before his last fight, which was August or something along those lines, August 18th. Yeah. And just before that couple of weeks, we recorded an episode. After the episode, Sem had told us that he was going to go and travel for a bit, but also do a fight camp, a professional fight camp in Thailand, Phuket, and obviously we're taking the piss, but we're like, okay, we're going to join you. You know what I mean? Ali wasn't in the room. It was just me and you having a conversation with Sem. And then after he goes, come join, you know what I mean? And it was one of those half-asked comments where it's like, okay, we're going to do it, but like there's no commitment plan. You know what I mean? You got a budgeting and all that kind of stuff that it takes to plan like a trip, He gave us dates and then we're just like, bet, let's do it. And I remember the next day, because I work with Briss as well, I told him, would you go, do you remember this conversation? I told him, would you come to like Thailand? You know what I mean? Because the only person, because you said, Ashraf had said, hey, I got to confirm. Ali said yes, Brissa the next day.
I didn't know how serious it was though.
Exactly. Your yes and my yes were similar.
Because I was like, yeah, we're probably keen, but then to leave the group chat, it takes a lot.
That's
you guys
the
don't
thing.
want to be the bad buzz. Like, you just yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Not really taking initiative, but I'll go.
Yeah, exactly. And plus also at the same time, I don't know if you guys remember, but we're trying to organize a camp as well. Like to go on like a camp just before like...
It's the general camping trip.
Like a road trip,
Yeah, like a road trip, actual camp where we stay 3 days or something along those lines. But that was a bit techie and all that kind of stuff. And then what ended up happening was, I remember Ashraf came back one day, confirmed. No, so the next day when I saw Briss at work, he confirmed it. He said, yeah, I'm down. You know what I mean? But Briss has also he's got that down where it's like the African down where it's like, yes. You know what I mean? So 3 of us are like half-assed. You're going to confirm. And I think the next moment, the pivotal factor was when you came back and you said, yeah, my wife said, yeah, like we can go. You know what I mean? After that, I was like, if Ashraf can go, like there's no way no one else can, like, you know what I mean? And plus, I'm the one that said, hey, boys, let's do it. You know what I mean? And 3 weeks later, you guys came back to me. I think you three, you, Ahmed, and Ali had said, hey, we booked our ticket. What's the go?
That's the thing. I was like, I knew it's so hard for people to leave the group chat. So I went, I just told Ali, I said, we're booking this weekend. And I sent messages in the chat. I said, you book, and then inshallah the boys will just book as well. And I remember calling Barissa, and like, man, because I think me and you are the only ones that had annual leave and had to approve it. He goes, I have to know by this Friday. Yeah. And I booked it on the Saturday. And he goes, I have to know, if not, I can't get it. And I'm the same. I have to go ask my team leader for work, leave. And I'm like, but I'm just booking it. Because we're literally asking for 5 days off. That's what people don't understand. It's like, oh, we can't do it. You know, I never have the time, work. Like, if you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. True. Especially, we literally went, I think, 6 maybe or 7 full days, weekend, and 5 business days. And we made it work. Me and you both came back, 7 a.m. arrived, and we worked that day. Yeah. It's like, you just got to make it work, man. And
I think that's a good thing about spontaneous trips as well. Because with that spontaneity, or whatever the word is, it allows you to not overthink about how and what is going to happen. You know, it just happens because, like, once you book the ticket, like, everything that's going to sort of be will happen, you know, like, based off, like, it's a risk that you take, you know what I mean? But it's also, like, when are you going to get, like, that opportunity to do that again, you know? And
that's when Ashraf said yes. That's when we realized there's literally no excuse. Like, imagine... Because we don't know what's going to happen once, you know, we have other commitments. True. Why can't we do it now? So that was huge as well. Definitely.
Even the finances, I know a lot of the boys were saying it was like a, you know, big concern and stuff. After looking back on the trip, like, to go Thailand 7 days, it cost us all like max 1,500.
True.
And we got expensive tickets.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
$450 return from Melbourne.
Yeah.
We paid, you know, a couple hundred more. Accommodation was like 200 for 7 nights. And then it's just like food and training.
Yeah,
it's like
not much.
Training sessions are $15 each for 2 hours in pretty much any gym you go to, and it's not that expensive. Like 1,000, 1,500, and you get 7-8 days and memories for life.
Yeah, I low-key felt like this guy was gonna pull out last minute.
He actually did. He had conversations. Go on.
It took him so long to purchase tickets because I think he had like other commitments and he had to think about other stuff and dates and stuff. So that's why it took a long time. But yeah, if he pulled out, then it would have kind of put us into a bit of a
it changes the vibe as well. It's like, because look, so how could it make it? But then, at least because obviously he'll come on the next trip, inshallah. But 90% of the group still came.
Yeah.
So if it's more than 1 or even 2, then it's like it's a whole dynamic change, and you think about it. Should we just delay it for the next time?
Yeah.
That was a hard thing though. Because we felt bad for Sus. Obviously, he had work, and we're like, should we delay it? But then it's like, Basem's there. It's not like we're just going on a random trip at a random time. It's like, and then it was school holidays, so it was much more expensive for like 2 weeks. So we had to go right after school holidays, and there's all these things that were like, and then we just said, you know,
there's book it, I was more so procrastinating to do it. Do you get what I mean? Because this guy would see me at work. He'd go, "Did you book it? Did you book it? Did you book it?" And you guys asked me like the same question, and I kind of lied to you guys at one point as well. You know that first time I told you guys I booked it, and he asked me, "Okay, so what's your dates?" Yeah, and then I just said, "Oh yeah, I booked at this date," but I actually did not book it at all because I was like, "Seems like, you know, when you work a full day, then you say you'll get home to do it, then the next day happens and all that kind of stuff." And the funny thing about that is I'm the one that copped it at the end. Yeah, because I don't know if you guys realize, you know how I came back a day later than you guys? The reason why was because of the booking process. So I delayed it so much that I remember at one point he said there's only 2 seats left on the plane. And I'm like, okay, bet tonight I actually got to go book it. And then what ended up happening is that 2 tickets turned into 1 while I was like refreshing. So I was stressing. Me being a dumbass, what ended up happening is I ended up booking only one way. I didn't book a return. So the one way it wasn't too expensive. It was like $250 or whatever. I'm like, beautiful. It's not going to be a problem because I saw the initial ticket being like $800. So the return is going to be like probably like $400, $300 or something, just to make that like $800. I come back and now I have to try and organize a return ticket. Yeah, and I'm annoyed at this point. You know what I mean? Anyway, then I go and try to book the return ticket. The return ticket alone was the same price as going like a full flight ticket.
Like a two-way.
Like a two-way ticket. So just to return, it costs like $800. So I'm like, and that was through Jetstar. And I'm like, there's no way I'm paying like $800. Like either I stay there a whole week longer and find like a cheaper ticket, which is I don't care about, to be honest. You know what I mean? Or I go about it. So then I just started searching the internet, and that's when I found like AirAsia, you know, and wallahi, I copped it on the way back. I copped it on the way back because my pre-thought of going onto the Jetstar plane was, okay, cool, it's going to be like a domestic flight.
Yeah.
That Jetstar flight was actually top notch.
Yeah, it was
With a lot of space. We're talking it wasn't that bad flying internationally with it. AirAsia was what Jetstar is flying domestically. You get what I mean? On the way back, I'm I'm hoping like I get a leg seat. I didn't get a leg seat, but what ended up happening was also just a bit of context. On the way back, this is because when we were there, Israel and Palestine, that is when it just like kicked off. Yeah, and obviously like I was like looking into it and all this kind of stuff. On the way back, the first guy that I sit next to, I'm like, damn it. He starts off, he's got a hissy fit, he's coughing, the whole lot. And I'm like, this is going to be the longest. And on the way back, you know how the flight always seems longer on the way back than going there? That 10 hours felt like 20 hours. But for some reason, subhanAllah, halfway through, because he looked like a typical Asian guy, we didn't speak for the whole time. At one point when he asked me, can I leave the aisle? He goes, can I jump through, whatever? He had the most bogan Aussie accent in the world. Like literally, you know that Asian comedian?
Yeah.
On Channel 10 or whatever his name is. He looked exactly...
He made the TV show on Netflix, that one.
Yeah, that guy there. And he sounded like them. And for 3 hours, he started speaking about Israel and Palestine. He killed like my time, So that's the problem with like procrastinating and stuff on trips, because you end up like copping it, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I was a bit selfish as well at the start. I'm like, you know what? Because it was, I think it was a grand final weekend, so we had that extra 3 days.
Yeah, true.
And I was full planning. I'm like, you know what? I'll see the boys there. Let me try and go somewhere else beforehand. So
I remember you talking about that ideas.
Yeah.
And that.
So I was full thinking. I'm like, do you reckon I can go to London quickly and then
What?
make my way there?
He's an air raider, man. He's
No, but honestly,
raider.
if you pulled that off, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm the
It's
type
just
of guy that
you-
would
yeah,
actually do that.
you are.
I went to London for like 6 days, man, like 7 days, and I came back. But like, I'm like, how can I make the most of it? And I even offered for you to come to Malaysia
I
and
was getting
Singapore as
G'd
well.
up, bro.
It was pretty cheap. It's like $200 extra. I'm like, why not? But then I'm like, I tried to remind myself of the whole purpose of the trip. Going together, coming back together. I'm like, that's gonna be full on selfish if I just do my own thing. But yeah,
I didn't think it was that deep though, because if he left without us, actually, no, it is kind of deep.
It is deep.
Yeah, because you know why? Because the one of the most memorable part of the trip, I don't know, the most excitement that I got. It's kind of nice when you guys all like hop on you board a plane together and all that kind of stuff, and you know what I mean.
For me, I'm limited with annual leave and how long I can obviously take away from spending time here in Melbourne. So when you guys were talking about, let's make the trip 10 days, let's make it 11 days, I had to like not tell you, let's do the trip in like 7 days, but I had to try to plan to see like, no, don't use your annual leave. Sam's doing this. Let's make a 6-day trip. It's easier for this. And I used like Suhail to try to like.
No, I got that vibe. I asked him.
I can't leave for 2 weeks. There's no chance. And you guys, I was like, I can. You're like, I can. Like, I can. I'm like, bro, I can. 6 days. And then I'm getting in trouble. It's like, okay, what can I do? I need to change the narrative. They're like, so how can I only do 5 days? So boys, come on, let's do it for Seuss.
And is that why? Can I ask you? Is that why you also booked in the tickets as well? Because once it's booked,
at that time it was we did 8 days.
Yeah,
it was 8 days. At that time we said that amount.
Okay.
It wasn't like you guys said 10 and we said it was cheaper. At that time everyone agreed 7-8 days. Like,
it was gonna get more
because I remember
expensive.
this guy's annual leave was the same. But before that, when it was in the idea stage, I had to plant the idea.
The seed in it, yeah.
But if you think about it, like 8 days was perfect. Like,
Alhamdulillah, yeah, it was.
You're right. You know
we
why?
did a lot,
I reckon
bro.
2 weeks would have been too much.
Yeah, and I
That's
got
true.
bored at the end.
That's true.
As in, besides the training, it was like there's nothing else to do in Phuket.
Yeah. Okay. True.
Yeah.
You know how I know you're right about that? Because because I didn't tell you guys I had that situation with my tickets and all that, because I just kept to push it, because technically I had already lied to you guys and told you I booked my ticket ages ago. So I remember one day we were finished like a recording, and I told Ali, hey, I'm coming back a day later or something along those lines. I don't know how long. At the time I thought I was coming 3 days later. And I was like, no way, bro. Because I might actually change my ticket to stay back 3 days.
Yeah, I actually sussed it out, bro, but too expensive, man.
It was.
And like Rissa said, honestly, towards the end of the week, we're like, I think a week was perfect, man.
Yeah.
Because it's not a normal trip to go train twice, well, most days were twice, and then do other things as well. That's a long day, and that's every single day. Like, that's tiring on the body.
Did you guys like prefer the idea of traveling with your boys? Because I see the pros of it, but I think like over a week, it's you're planting the seeds to have some, you know, there's gonna be some more clashes and stuff. Like 7 days, like 3-4 days in, you're like, we're leaving in 3 days, I can suck it up. But if you go 2, 3, 4 weeks with your boys, that'll be very difficult. I don't know. What do you boys think?
I wanna hear Ahmed's take on that. Did you hear the question? Did you catch the question? I'll repeat it again because I'll tell you why, Ahmed. Because everyone here has travelled in a group before, correct? You have. Yeah. Ahmed is not the only one, so I want to hear like his novel take on that. Come on, hop on. We'll do a quick switcheroo.
You can share.
Substitute.
What was the question? So they could travel in a group?
I was saying, so like the pros of traveling in a group, because I was saying like, you know, there's traveling solo. You traveled with your family recently. You went on like a whole month travel. And it's like, that's, you know, with your family. And then there's obviously going with your wife. And then there's going with the boys.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you see that there's maybe more freedom? Because maybe your parents used to kind of control. That's obviously a normal thing.
I think it's like traveling with the family is more of a like, because the uncle or the elders have a set plan of what you want to do and stuff like that. I think maybe because I was a kid back then, like our young days, it's just follow what your parents organize. They'll take you to fun places and stuff. But for when we got older, like the month's trip that I did at the end of last year, it was because I was obviously I'm an adult. They were more lenient. Oh, let's do something together. But if you want to do something, just go ahead. Because I went around Egypt, I went around Morocco, and I went around Saudi. So it was fun to able to go out your way and do stuff for your own. But traveling with a group of boys is a whole different world. I'll tell you that, because you have the same humor, the same same experiences, and we can waffle about with people, waffle about with each other, play little pranks on each other and stuff like that. It's not something you can do every day with your family and stuff like that.
Were you excited to be traveling with?
Oh yeah, 100%. As the first time going with a bunch of boys, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially another country. I've done like going out of state or go out of just a few kilometers away from my house. But yeah, overseas is good.
Yeah, true. I think Ahmed was the most excited because, you know, when we created, you remember when we created the group chat? We created the Thailand group chat, and also like just to draw a bit of context as well. I think Ashraf and I are the only people that haven't been to Thailand before. You have actually?
Never.
No. So Ashraf and I were the only ones that haven't been to Thailand before. So Ashraf said, I think Ahmed, he wanted to get Ahmed's like input on what we should do going to Thailand and stuff. And that's when Ahmed sent like a list of all the things we're going to do. And he said, where he goes, Brissa and I will organize the activities. Yeah.
He just casted me.
Yeah.
I have been a few days in that, but he just like, no, Brissa and I will take care of it. It's all good.
Yeah.
He goes, you guys don't know Thailand. I'm going to organize all the activities. And then you guys can add on whatever you guys want.
You know, for the reason I did that, because I've been to Thailand before, and I've been there like for 2 weeks. And I went to Bangkok and Phuket. So for someone like obviously it was my first time, and my uncle organized the whole thing. So I basically stole the ideas that he had. So for some first comers like you and Welly, and
First comers
to a country like that, I want you guys to experience the actual Thailand, that main attraction. And after that, obviously, when I said you can add things whatever you guys like, that was your free will.
Not in how do I put this? Maybe because Welly and I we did a lot of prior research. It didn't seem like you or Brissa or Ali knew like so much more in the Thailand local understanding. You know what I mean? Like you know when you go to a new country, language barrier, you don't know where to go. They didn't like take lead and be like we were planning the days.
Yeah,
they were kind of it was like we all knew what we were doing and there wasn't like a big difference. But it was just interesting when you were creating your list, because when you were creating like things to do, Legendary gave some input, and
I got shunned.
Yeah.
Did I show you?
And then you took his idea and pretended it was yours.
Wait, which idea was this?
What idea was that?
Was
something where
we
should do this.
Hey, that just confirms that he doesn't.
We shouldn't. I'll write the itinerary and then you added that.
There was two. I think I gave two. Because also going into the trip, yeah, and like just to enforce like why we went on this trip. My intentions of going on this trip were two things, yeah. Kicking it with the boys and going overseas, which we've never done before. And the other thing is the added effect of going to Thailand to go train like their most common sport, or their probably most famous sport over there, which is Muay Thai, you know what I mean? And the fact that one of our mates does that, it's just like an experience in my world that you won't get before. So when we were creating that list, I didn't really have much to add to it except like 2 things. I think it was maybe the gun range, and there was one other thing. If you
like
can,
the islands and stuff like
yeah,
that.
maybe Phi Phi Island or
Yeah,
something. They were the only
go-karting,
2.
Tiger,
But
something.
something along those lines. Yeah.
It was just funny. I like.
Yeah.
You learn more about people's personalities traveling, which
That's
is
true.
actually very good because, alhamdulillah, us 5 boys, we do business together, we do fair income together, but because we do podcasts once a week, we do, you know, sometimes something like we hang out another day, once a fortnight. It's once, twice, but when you get to spend like 100 hours straight together, it's funny memories, and you learn a lot about each other.
I think the good thing that we did as well, like before the trip, we were all linked up, and just maybe like 4 days before the trip, we you weren't there at that time, so unlucky. But you got the gist. But all the boys sat down and Welly like put it out there. Okay, boys, what is your actual plans? What are you keen for? What are you not keen for? And it was a good thing that we all shared our common interest of what we want to do on this trip.
Yeah.
And we said, look, if somebody wants to do something else, go ahead, bro. We're not going to hold you back. But if it's something that we plan all together, it was good to like just participate, and the rest of the day you can choose.
You know why? Because you know when you're traveling with groups and you hear all the time Twitter stories, TikTok stories, like later on, it's like often when a group of friends, whether guys or girls, travel together, some of them don't come back as friends. Yeah. And like I think of it as a couple of ways. I think of it as 3 ways. I learned this when like I traveled with obviously Willie one-on-one, you know what I mean? This is a thought that I was having prior to it as well. You know, maybe I blurred out the name or something. When I was traveling on my last trip, is I think of it 3 ways, You either come back stronger as friends, which is what you aim for, you know, because you share common experiences and whatnot. The second being is you don't, like your friendship doesn't break off or whatever, but you just realize that you're very much different people, you know what I mean? And there's no harm in that, you know what I mean? And the third is where you realize you're so different and that you have conflicting like beliefs, like you realize that you guys maybe cannot work when you come back to Melbourne.
Naturally distance you from the other person after the trip.
And the funny thing is, I know, like, forget the TikTok stories, Twitter stories and stuff. I actually know of a trip that happened like last year. I don't want to blurt out too much or whatever, but like it didn't go so well. You know what I mean? And going into it, like these boys have known each other for more than a decade. Do you get what I mean? So it's like time doesn't like. You can't put time as a measurement for like the quality of your friendship. Do you get what I mean? So it's one of those things. So going on to that trip, it wasn't like I thought we were all going to break off later on or something along those lines. It's just that it's easier to avoid conflict prior in regards to what's people's like intentions. And I think we sort of stated that like some of the boys wanted to go more of a holiday vibe. Some of the boys were like, I know I wanted to go and train. You weren't there for the conversation. But we told you like later on, and it's good because you avoid things like later on, you know. And alhamdulillah for that conversation is because later on, when Ahmed was recommending we go Big Bora and he wanted to go to the Tiger or whatever, I can't get annoyed. You get what I mean? Because prior to the trip, he told me he wanted to do those type of things. You know what I mean? So same thing when I went to a training session on my own later on without you boys. I knew you guys weren't going to get annoyed because you guys knew that I was like really wanted to go to like, training.
The trip,
you know. So
I think it was good. Even just us sitting here and like saying, you know, we can't wait for the next trip. That's a big sign in itself that, you know, obviously things went to plan. We dealt with things well. We obviously became closer. These type of things, because it's only inevitable, right? Like for these things to happen, like clashes or, you know, people don't take jokes the right way and stuff like that, and certain scenarios. Because even training in a sport that most of us are not familiar with, and it's hot as well, and we're tired, it's long days, like that took a toll, especially on me, took a toll. And you've seen that at certain moments, it took a toll on me mentally. But then, you know, you kind of just deal with it. You kind of understand how people are more in certain scenarios. And
and like Ashraf said, you're spending 100 hours together, so you're up in each other's faces, you know? Like the first night we come there, it's too hot in one of the rooms. Your room doesn't have AC. So it's not like at the end of the day, and me and Brissa were sharing a room, Brissa and I, you two were sharing a room, obviously, and then Ahmed had his own room because he's the king, you know? Alam Barik. Anyway. Did he say he deserved it?
Go ahead.
Let's have a next episode debate. The truth. Right,
We'll see.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so obviously with that added effect, like on the first day, like we can't even avoid each other. Let's say at the end of a long day, let's say heads are butted, cool, you don't get along. Now we've got to sleep in the same room together. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's inevitable, you know.
Kind of just dealt with the problems in the moment, right?
There
Yeah,
wasn't problems to deal with that, which was good.
True, but then
Thank
like
God.
these things like you never think of before the trip to happen.
Mhm.
The AC's not going to work. It's going to be bloody hot in the apartment.
Mhm.
The electricity's going to go out one night, and we don't know what to do next. And these type of things, I think we dealt with pretty well.
You guys want to chat a little about the Muay Thai sessions? Because a lot of people maybe haven't even done Muay Thai here in Australia, but to do it in Thailand, like you said, #1 sport with people preparing for a camp or preparing for a fight. What was you guys like experiences? Because to me, it was like besides the vibes and stuff, the brotherhood, it was the highlight of the trip.
Yeah.
You know, like that experience.
Mhm.
So what you guys want to?
Why was it a highlight? Well, obviously there's the obvious reasons, but
I think it's because like physically, I like doing things that are physically demanding. It was
Mhm.
that. It took me out of my comfort zone completely, learning a new skill. Core memory that we share together, and I share with like Sam, who obviously I've known for years, and it's just, you know, there's so many ticks. It's like I'm gonna look back on it and be like, yeah, I went to a fight camp in Thailand or
with
some
him.
remote village and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's kind of cool as well because you see it with UFC fighters. Like, you've seen, like, Israel Adesanya in his last fight against Sean Strickland when, like, even one of the boys that we know, like, Khan Offley, you know what I mean? He went to New Zealand to go join Israel on his camp, do you know what I mean? And obviously, maybe we speak about this next time we get Sam on an episode or something like that. But going to another country for, like, let's say 30 days to train multiple times a day, recover, and majority of it, you're going to be isolated away, isolated from other people, and more importantly, you're isolated away from home. It's a tough thing mentally, you know. So, like, obviously, like, he wouldn't appreciate it as much as we did that we were able to join him, you know, because that company is what he needed. Do you get what I mean? So later on, back when he thinks about it, it's like, okay, cool, because he's been to Thailand before, obviously for a fight camp, but this one was special. His brothers are there, his mates are there, and it's like you can't like forget that. And hopefully that boosts him in his like next fight and he brings home the W, you know what I mean?
it was a highlight for you too, Ahmed. Like,
I
you
think,
enjoyed it?
yeah, I think for me it's a highlight because I was very hesitant of doing it, only because I had the ankle injury and the stiffness. I mean,
Why is he laughing? Why is he laughing?
why are you laughing? You can't talk. You can't talk. Anyways, I was very because I was still in recovery.
Wait, what was stiff?
My ankle.
Yo.
Oh, okay. No, like, he said stiffness.
Stiffness,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like-
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
he
my
might
ankle.
have bad ankle.
No, it's
Yeah.
like it was still stiffness. Like, why do you laugh when I say that?
Because just say your ankle was stiff.
Okay, my ankle was stiff. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was still in recovery phase, and I wasn't sure if I can keep up with the pace of the training camp that we went through. But when we first day when we arrived there, I'm like, you know what, inshallah, let me go try and see how I go. Obviously, like we did the this running around the whole
Oh,
mat,
the warm up. Yeah.
the
Warm-ups,
warm ups and stuff. I was lagging behind a little bit, but I just let me just push through, because that's the whole point. Let me get the experience where I came here
Yeah.
to take that experience and let me push through and do it.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, it worked out well.
Yeah.
And there were some activities I couldn't do, but some I was able to do, like by kicking. I was only able to kick with my right, but not with my left, because as soon as I try to kick with my left, I had a little pain on the side of my ankle. But there was a couple times I tried, and I was like, maybe I'll just allow it to stick with my right. And obviously I created the connection with Sam and all the other boys that were there. And obviously the coaches, and especially that one coach that only remembered my name out of all you boys.
Did you
I love how you remembered that.
You have to say it.
You feel special, yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah, that's the highlight.
you remember his name?
That was the highlight.
Do you remember his name?
Nah, I don't remember.
That dude that remembered my name is my highlight.
that coach. I didn't say that.
I
That
know.
coach, yeah.
The coach, he wants
But,
to scout me.
the
Is
coach
there-
was like, I think he like motivated me, like.
No, that's good. It
I
makes a
think
difference.
he pushes people, and
And you have a talent for Muay Thai as well. Like, mashallah.
You got the tenacity, honestly.
Yeah.
I have, because I have prior younger experience. I think it just came back.
Kicked back
Because I
in.
was
Thought it
doing
was
karate. Huh?
That was anime.
Well, a little anime motivation was me actually sticking through the training
I heard
camp,
it
not
G's
tapping
people
out.
up.
There was a couple. The first day,
What anime are you thinking about though?
I think it was Naruto. Yeah,
And at what moment?
I think the moment where
Are you punching the bags? Are you sparring against me?
the
Which
sparring was a different one.
Which one?
I think it's the when we, you know how like you were doing like punching in the bag and then stop for a minute and then go back into it, start punching the bag until you get your turn to
Oh,
have
pad
that
work.
one-on-one.
Yeah,
with
the pad work,
the
yeah.
pad work. I think there was a moment of the half where I I tapped out. I had to sit down and take a breather
Okay.
because I just couldn't handle it. But I ended up like, bro, you know what? Let's not. I don't want to waste time. Let me get back into it. And after that, like as soon as I took a breather, I think like 2 minutes, and I came back in. I just kept going. But I can't, if my favorite anime Naruto didn't give up, like, why should I give up?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but then I see like that there's an impact as well. You're seeing us boys train as well. Whereas if you were to train by yourself, you probably wouldn't push yourself as much.
That's true.
And the trainees did make impact. They were all Muslim, which made it just a bit more sweeter.
Yeah.
And they were local. They lived there. I want to know, how was the intensity for you guys? Because I noticed halfway through the first session that it's whatever pace you go at.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you could easily just be like, for example, punching the bags. You could easily be casual about it, and then you can get away with it if you really want to. And you could say like, oh, I trained hard. That was a good session. But then you know at the end of the day how hard you push yourself.
Yeah.
So that for me was a big thing, really.
Do you feel like you didn't go hard enough? You went as hard as you could.
Maybe at the start it was a shock because it's a sport I've never done as well.
Yeah.
And that really put me outside the comfort zone. Like I was confused, really. I was like learning every single thing, you know, in terms of technique and the way you kick, the way you punch, you know, moving your hips as well.
True.
And that type of thing was like, okay, I'm still kind of doing it. I don't want to go too fast because I'm going to do the wrong thing. I don't know, get an injury. But it was actually nice kind of seeing the art, if you want to call it an art as well, like Muay Thai, because it isn't that easy. Sometimes it can look a bit easy because, you know, it's certain patterns that look very simple, but once you start doing it at like a certain pace, I struggled, man.
Let me ask you, because you've always played team sports growing up, yeah? Similar to Ashraf, pretty much all of us, yeah? And obviously martial arts is an individual sport, you know, it's like a lot of it is you versus you. Did you realize some of that when you were there as well, you know? Because pretty much the work that you put in, you sort of see the results, you know what I mean?
You know, in terms of that, like playing the sports where it's just you as an individual, I've started to enjoy that a bit more, like in general, not just Muay Thai. So that kind of was one of the sparks that wanted me to do this challenge of like trying something new on this trip. That's what I was actually G'd about. Not the sport itself, but just the idea of doing more things that are personal challenge, like other sports, other things I'm doing like cycling, running, that's all individual. I can go at the slowest pace, no one will know, but they'll know I did it. But then at the end of the day, I know how hard I pushed myself, really. Did I push my limits?
Yeah.
So I think that was really interesting. Even seeing Sam, like those times I'll just observe him and his brothers, seeing how hard they're going, or even just how focused they are. Because obviously focus really makes a difference in your intensity as well. Because you can easily get distracted, you know, you watch the boys, you have a laugh, tell them do this or come over here. But if you really wanted to go harder, like it comes down to focus as well. But then one thing as well, like the heat was tough, man.
Yeah.
That was really hard. I've never sweated that much in my life.
The humidity over there was, shocking. What about the individual side of it for you, Ashraf?
I think, like Ali said, it's you and it's you against you. You know, the first day was the only difficult one on like cardio wise. Maybe just because I wasn't expecting it, maybe eating. But honestly, after the first session, like lasting 2 hours wasn't too difficult. Yeah. You know, maybe because I expected it to be 2 hour sessions, which normally I'm not used to. Obviously, the sweat was out of control. Like,
on another level.
Yeah.
Honestly,
which is a bit like kind of disgusting to train in. Yeah. But honestly, after like, there's sometimes you finish the 2 hours, but like I actually want to learn more because they're learning us like technical skills. But the first day it was like, man, why am I here? Cardio, just hitting the bag. Heck, am I really learning anything? The next time he changes it up, and he changes something. It's like, hey, I'm actually picking this up. So you start to feel good about it, and you're like, I can push. Especially that it's not like 100% the whole time. A lot of it was technical skills. So he's like, go 70% and learn what you're doing. True. It's not just like punch a bag 100 times in 1 minute. True. So because of that, after the first session, I honestly found it pretty manageable. Yeah. Which is why we went gym. Some days did hill sprints after. You could like, you know. Yeah, it's on a different level, man. And you appreciate martial arts and you appreciate fighting as well. And part of it as well with martial arts is it's an ego check, you know, because now like, you know, like for example, we were there with like 4 other professional fighters or 5 or whatever, including the trainers or something along those lines. And Thai people are borderline short, you know, but they could all whoop our ass. Yeah. Confirm. Do you get what I mean? Definitely. So it checks your ego a little bit where it's like, okay, I have to humble myself, you know, individually. So if I'm doing something wrong, you know what I mean, I have to try and practice that drill or that skill, refine it, so then I actually do it like properly and better
like later on next time, you know. And there's something rewarding about like the individual aspect of a sport, you know, because on the team you can get away with lacking a little bit, you know, like someone else carries the team a little bit one day, you cannot be performing or whatnot. But like shout out to like going back to these fighters and whatnot. It's like on the day that they fight, you know, in front of X amount of people in a cage, you know, there is no room for error. Like the margin for error, like every day counts in terms of what you've like put your body through, you know. So you realize that side of things. And with in regards to like the addictive side of it, things, it's like you come back. I don't know about you guys, but I came back wanting to do Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Or if not, getting better at least like with the BJJ that I at least do. So then later on I can like go do
Pick
it.
up the next martial art, whatever.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, you can go.
I just want to say one thing in terms of like ego check.
Yeah.
You know, I was so happy that we recorded ourselves training
Yeah.
in the ring because I can't remember actually who recorded me, but I knew I was being recorded and I was hitting the pads. I remember in the moment I was thinking, damn, I'm a machine, bro. Like, my technique's actually getting better, swear to God. Like, I actually genuinely thought that. And I felt like, yeah, I was punching hard. Like, my patterns seem sick. I can't wait to see the video.
Yeah.
God, bro, I look so slow.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I feel a bit on the chubby side. 'Cause, you know, the sweat you can see. It's just that's an ego check in itself, bro.
Those videos are bad to watch.
Yeah, it was hard, man.
I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, because
No, no.
you're a machine, bro.
No, not my individual side. All of us, because I'm very pro documenting. Okay, so we can go back, like even within one day, you can see results. See, this is another good thing. I'll get back to that point. This is another good thing about Thailand as well, is it's like almost like Dragon Ball Z. I mean, you get this reference, yeah. Like Dragon Ball Z, like Goku and Vegeta, they'll go to the hyperbolic chamber, yeah, where they'll go train. But the training over there, like, what's one day equivalent to? Like 1,000 years or something along those lines.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
that's not a fair metric.
But that's
One day, 1,000 years.
I don't know the exact X amount, you know what I mean? But one day is equivalent to X amount, but it's like a lot, you know what I mean? So they'll go train there at a different gravity, the intensity is different and whatnot, and they'll come back and their power levels are like ridiculous when they come out, you know what I mean? I don't know, there's sort of some sort of symbolism there with like Thailand, you know, because you come here in Melbourne, most martial art gyms will only give you an hour's worth of training. You'll know with boxing.
Warm up and they finish early if they're tired or if they're salat or something, if it's Muslim run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over there, you're there for 8 days. You get 2 sessions a day, and each session is 2 hours long. So like one day is equivalent to, when you add on top of the fact that you work, commitments, family, and all that kind of stuff, is equivalent to a whole week's worth of training here. You know, so you come back and you learn so much more in such a short amount of time. So it's like sort of like a no-brainer, you know?
I also feel like the environment as well, because here it's mainly like indoors and it's in like a factory or a room.
Yeah.
But there it was like outdoors and the heat got to us, man. Like,
yeah, the style was tough.
I was drenched within 10 minutes, man.
Bro, do you,
And you guys know I
do you
sweat a
even
lot.
remember like during the day, like we walked through the old town and stuff, and I'm just sweating. Like, bro,
It was the
this
worst
is
day.
enough, man.
Yeah.
We just went into stores just because there was AC.
Yeah. That was
Like,
a
it's
tough
really
day,
tough
that
at
one,
the
yeah.
start, yeah.
And that's the truth, because I think you realize after a while that me and Ali started to reduce our our contribution, not contribution, but like us wanting to go train furthermore towards the end of the trip.
Yeah, yeah.
For me personally, it was exhaustion.
Yeah.
I was gone.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even get myself up. And
But you guys will also go to the gym as well. That's the other thing as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, and the gym in that heat.
I feel like with the gym, you know, you can control how you train and you're under air conditioning. And
Yeah, it was a bit
and all
different.
that
I was
compared
surprised
to
about those facilities.
that. I'm like, whoa. And like when we first started, when we went for the little lap, yeah, just to warm up, I was fighting my mind. Like I was like, I don't think I can do this.
Damn.
But it all paid off, yeah.
I thought the exact same thing as well, because in that first lap, you see me, I'm wearing my tight t-shirt, some like a t-shirt to train, and I'm like, beautiful. The second lap, I took that t-shirt off. Ashraf was like, bro, you got to keep your t-shirt on. We might record these videos. I was like, bro, it's the video. I
Yeah,
can't keep my
I can wait.
t-shirt on, you know?
I was skins one day.
Yeah.
Look at the
So
shot.
crazy.
I was, yeah.
Yeah. That was like on a different
Alhamdulillah.
level, you know? And I know this guy's like reaction, like all of our reaction after the first training session, because the first training session was probably the most exhausting one. You know, that when we came back that night, we all came back, we had a shower, and like I was kind of happy Sam cancelled. Yeah, because that was the night when we first meant to catch up with Sam and he cancelled.
That was going to be effort, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, thank God he cancelled, because then we walked to Bismillah to have dinner, and everyone's reaction that day was like, this is 10 out of 10. Like, they loved it, you know what I mean? So, nah, that's good, you
Honestly,
know?
man, trip was. Or what was you guys' main takeaways? Like now coming back, because at least Ali knows. Right after the trip, like 3 days later, he started 75 hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't long. Wednesday you came back. Monday it started.
I think that's exactly what I needed.
I feel like,
I don't know
cause
about
you know
guys
how
as well.
we went away for like a week? It's like I don't know about you guys, but for me, it was like a pause. Like your whole life, the whole world is paused, and like you get to think and then
Take a step back.
take a step back and make your way back, you know?
Yeah.
And then once we got back here, it's like we're going to a new routine. It's like,
Do you think about that night that you made us do like the reflections and stuff like that? Like,
I don't ponder over it too much.
What
but
reflection?
you remember
I
we
think
went to
at
the
the
shopping
shopping
center?
Oh, yeah.
Like you, obviously at the trip, you know, we were doing so much, training so hard. You know, we had that, like you said, a pause from reality, and it's like, okay, what do I want to change when I get back? And we kind of had a discussion on that. Yeah, you haven't been thinking about it?
No, I have, obviously, because we're doing that challenge now anyways. But I just feel like, you know, we've got like 2 months left of the year.
Yeah.
And it's like we reflect now on what has gone past and what have we accomplished. Are we at where we want to be? And like Ali always keeps reminding me, it's like 2024 is a new year. And you want to be at your peak before you enter new year so that you can pick up new habits and new goals. And it's like, how can we make the most of the remaining days we have? And I feel like that session was pretty effective. Yeah.
It was. Bro, you know the things that like there's one thing, bro, going back to like getting off the Muay Thai conversation and the martial arts. Yeah. One good thing about traveling with a group of boys as well is, and this is what I've realized in comparison to traveling like solo, is the shared memories. You know, like for example, like I have core memories of when I went to Iceland, you know, and like I had that situation where my car was slipped on whatever, swerved off on black ice. Yeah. But I can't share that memory with someone else. I got half of TikTok telling me, now that didn't happen. There's half of people saying, how did that actually like happen? Whatever, cool. You know, but you come back and then after, like on the trip with the boys, like the night the blackout happened. You get them? I'll never forget that, you know what I mean? Like learning about that fact that, like, does someone want to explain the blackout story, by the
I
way?
should have explained it.
Go ahead.
Inshallah. So second,
Okay.
first full day in Thailand, because we
Yeah.
arrive at night. We go, we check in. Ahmed takes lead, and then the second day, it's our first full day. We travel around Thailand, we train, we do our thing. We come back late, like 10, 11, and we get there and we get out of our grab. We press the electric button to open up the gate. It's not turning on. Like, what is going on? And then we're like, okay, maybe something's wrong. And then we look around, no lights are on. So Wally and I jump over and we get inside, we use the key, we open up the house. We're like, no electricity, no power. It's about midnight now. And we're like, what should we do? And then we start calling the Airbnb guy. Called him like 5-6 times. These guys are outside, they have a dog chasing them. And then I
Yeah.
sure what to
Dog
do.
was gonna chase us.
Yeah,
I
so
was scared.
Rissa, Ali and Ahmed outside,
Yeah.
and Willie and I are opening up a electricity box.
We
like
turned
we
it
know
to
what we're doing.
like Bob the Builder, or like tops
Okay,
are off.
Why don't we take off this cord? Why don't we take out that cord? All those dangerous. And they were like, damn, what should we do? I keep calling this guy. The boys jump over. And they, like, some of these guys didn't even try to help. They just jumped over and sat down on a chair. It's like, bro, try to find the solution, you know? And they're like, oh, you guys are doing it.
Bro, I got to a point where I accepted. I was like, boys.
Ali wasn't
I didn't
there.
say it.
Ali wasn't there that night.
Yeah, I woke up from
He was
a
tired.
nap.
Yeah.
No, but you know when you wake up from a nap, like from the drive,
Yeah.
and you're sweating.
Yeah.
Like this is proper sweat. Like when you walk outside, and then this guy's wanting to take photos because you're saying memories. I'm like,
I
yes,
love it.
bro.
You know what's funny? I went and took the videos off of Ahmed, yeah? And I went back to that one video that one night. Like, this is the first thing I was trying to look for, yeah? And thank God, wallahi, I recorded it. Because I don't know if you guys remember, you know when I brought the camera out, obviously there's no light, so I got the flashlight and I interviewed every single one of us about, like, what's their reaction, what's going on? Ali's just like, I hope you can put it in this. I hope you can put it in this clip, maybe. You know what I mean? But they're just like core memories you can't forget. But you know when we're jumping off, yeah? Some people had successfully jumped off, yeah? One person here didn't make the jump and actually had a fall.
Why is
Was
it
it
one
me?
person
Yes.
so inquisitive?
Now I was panicking because of the dog, man.
But
These
that was
guys were so
scary,
calm.
bro.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
dog was like 20 meters staring at us. Staring down our...
You don't remember falling?
I tripped because there was snails on top of the thing as well. I'm
He was
like,
probably...
I was just thinking about too many
He
things.
was
and I
too
just-
focused
felt
on getting
bad
on the
for
other
you.
side, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I felt bad for him. Because there's pebbles, there's a stone. He could have easily knocked himself like unconscious, dangerous, you know?
Bear in mind, the height was like 3 meters, like 2.5,
Yeah.
3.
It's a big
I
job.
told the boys, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's like some of the boys were burning and they're like, damn, this has to, why is this happening? And I told them, I said, like, in these little obstacles is like the memories. You know, the crazy memories, the funny memories. Like, if sometimes when the trip is too smooth, it's like, oh, you know, it's nice in, you know, Daisy. But when there's a little obstacle or something like that, it's just a story to look back on.
Yeah.
That's literally is travel. Like our first day in Thailand, proper day, come back, electricity is off, and we spent 2 hours outside, not knowing what to do, thinking we have to sleep outside.
Mozzies.
Yeah, you know, there was no AC inside. The house was hotter than outside.
Yeah, it was.
So
And the funny thing is, and out of the film photos that I took, you see the ones I sent you back in the group chat, my favorite were the ones where...
Don't say the topless one.
We're paused. Which one?
There's a topless one of like...
On the bed?
Oh, yo!
No, sorry. No, I don't mean like that.
Let me just
Sorry.
finish
it's
my
you and the
sentence.
guy behind the
Exactly,
camera.
me and the
Yeah.
cameraman.
That's my favorite ones.
And then there was a comment in the group chat, oh, these guys need to go to shred ASAP. So that's not the best one, bro.
That's a memory.
There's one, I think it's Ahmed, you and Barissa all sitting there. And then there's Ashraf's one just like this. Yeah. Favorite ones, bro, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, alhamdulillah.
No, but he's right. The obstacles are the ones where you are able to tell the stories to people. If someone asks you, how's your trip? You're going to say, yeah, it's good. But you think about the things that didn't go to plan, that's what you actually talk about.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's what we spoke about with Suhail. They didn't come on the trip. Some of the other boys in the group.
Because I've been to Thailand like multiple times. Ali's been there. Ahmed's been there. I love hearing your opinions, or the feedback. What's one thing that you guys hated from the trip?
Hated?
Yeah.
That's a good
Or
question.
didn't enjoy from the trip?
Wow, that's a good question. I never really thought of that. One thing hate is a strong word. I don't know. I don't want to say like...
Or didn't enjoy in general?
Or something maybe that you would say maybe didn't go to plan. One thing that didn't go to plan, maybe because the mornings were delayed. I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have made the most in the mornings in terms of... Because remember before the trip, we were saying, we'll get up for Fajr, stay up, go for a run, do the gym workout straight after Fajr. Days set. 9 a.m. we're ready to go. Bro, the days we like just drag our feet, bro. Because we didn't take into account of like recovery and actually our muscles being sore from training. These type of things. And there was also days we didn't eat enough.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
I don't think we ate enough the whole trip.
Yeah.
The whole trip.
So one thing that didn't go to plan, maybe not eating enough food. I was a bit disappointed that my appetite wasn't that big.
I feel like because we were way over occupied. Like we're doing like 25,000 steps a day. We're training on one day. The other day we're doing gym. I feel like we're really busy and sometimes we might have lost our appetite. Well, at least I did in most cases.
You never even ate the Thai food, bro.
Look, I personally don't like Thai food or Asian food in general. I had food poisoning in the past and I'm not going near it again.
Would you feel like it was because we had to find other places that you can actually eat at? Because if you go to Thailand, that's the only thing you can eat. Like that's the
look, he wasn't too bad, but then it's just like it was in the back of our mind whether we liked or not.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy.
Look, it's been mentioned in the past. People say I am a bad buzz when it comes to food, but it is what it is. Like I told you guys multiple times, like go eat. I'll come with you guys. You know.
Yeah.
I'm happy eating bread instead of eating Thai
I
food.
say
Or
you'll
whatever.
eat bread, bro. That's it.
crazy.
You can survive on bread. Could not survive with that.
So
Just one other thing that we haven't spoken about, just so people think, is obviously we did do other things on the trip. And one of our days that we dedicated to is we went to Phi Phi Island. Anyone want to recap that? Whatever, speak about it? I mean, you seem keen.
Me? No,
Yeah, go on.
I think
Because also the other thing, I think...
You know what? Nah, honestly, I think the story has to be like explained by Ashraf because he was like the guy who was watching the whole thing
Sorry?
about the Phi Phi Island from the very start to the end.
but give a gist of the story and he can elaborate.
So
just give a
basically,
gist.
like I think the 2 days before, me and Brissa planned the Phi Phi Island trip with one of the workers there, one of the shops in the corner.
Oh,
That kind of
yeah,
thing.
he was watching you. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and
You have to defend yourself, Ashraf.
Oh, come sit. And then obviously we all agreed. Look, we're gonna do it 2 days in advance. We paid and everything. Good, alhamdulillah. Alright. and I would say I took most of the control of like trying to organize the boys to be on time and to at least enjoy the trip and everything. And probably you guys call me, you know,
The time Nazi.
the time Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you want to tell them what's the time Nazi?
We're talking about Phi Phi Island.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk
Yeah,
about how
we
beautiful
talk about
the
Phi
water
Phi Island.
was?
He
Well,
wants-
the context why
He
I
wants
am
to
a
start fights
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
this guy.
You know,
I
the
like
first thing he
inside
done
jokes.
when he came back, he told Seuss everything that did not happen on the trip.
So, look, the morning came. I thought the night before we had training and then we went to bed or.
Yeah, we went to Bangalore Road, and that first night that we went to Bangalore Road to go see it out, we went to Bangalore Beach. Patong Beach.
Patong Beach,
So
yeah.
we were in Patong, and then obviously we told ourselves that one of the days we're actually going to go do like island hopping and stuff,
Yeah. But I'm saying like,
snorkeling, scuba diving.
I'm saying the night before,
But-
for the trip.
Yeah,
What were we doing? Because we came late as well, didn't we?
probably training.
Training,
More
yeah.
than likely training.
Yeah, I think as soon as we got home, I told the boys, "Hey boys, just pack your bags with swimming clothes and get prepared." So when we wake up, because the driver was gonna come between a certain time, he said like 7:30 to 7:45, he's gonna pick us up.
Yeah.
And the boys like, "Yep, okay, no worries." All right. So the boys went upstairs. I went to my room. It was like outside.
Was this the same night as the Whiteys?
Yeah, it was the same night as the wedding.
Whiteys, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that another time.
Do you remember the Whiteys?
No.
Marissa, you can't sleep
Oh, the
until you wash
whiteys.
my clothes.
The Whiteys.
He
He's
made a big fuss out of it.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Khair, keep going, yeah.
It is what it is. So before I slept, I put in we had our own like a group chat so we can message each other if anything happens. So I put in a reminder, boys, make sure you pack your bags so we can wake up early and be freshened up so we can get ready and head for the bus when the guy comes here. The boys said okay. So I had my Apple Watch on, like for my sleep.
every little detail, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
Bro, how's the Phi Phi Island? That's the question. She's talking about his wearing Apple Watch to sleep.
So I put on an alarm. So we wake up. I woke up. Then I went upstairs. I went to the house, and Bristol was already awake. Alhamdulillah. And then I went upstairs. I went upstairs to check on the boys.
Yeah.
And some boys were sleeping. Some boys were half awake.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, "Hey boys, we gotta get up. I'm gonna come back half an hour. Wake you guys up properly so we can go." Okay, done. So I sat down, waited half an hour, and then Ashraf woke up. Ali woke up. I think you were half awake as well.
I was asleep.
You were still asleep?
Yeah, I was asleep.
Because I told Marissa to go wake you up
So
if I
very
didn't.
last minute, yeah.
Yeah. So all the boys got ready,
Yeah.
and Welly was the last one to come downstairs,
Yeah.
and he's still questioning, "Oh, what do I need to bring?" The person I am that likes to be on time and likes to get ready so we can have a nice day.
Yeah.
I got annoyed quickly with Welly.
Cuz, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think no one cares about this story. Can we talk about Phi Phi Island? No one wants to know that me and you had a
Wallah,
bump.
I think
it's been 5 minutes. You asked that question. So how was Phi Phi Islands?
I think the island was good. It was beautiful.
It was good. Wallah, Phi Phi Islands rated the nicest place in the world.
Yeah.
Like TripAdvisor or whatever.
What's
He goes,
up?
it was good.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I've
want
been
to
there.
talk about Apple Watch. And
I want to give a story, like
Sure.
what happened. At least
Yeah.
one of the stories. I didn't
Yeah.
really gave enough story when
Sure.
he talked about that.
Basically, people realized because we all learned things about each other on the trip. Apparently, I'm very much Somali-like when it comes to like my timing. I don't respect timing. And Ahmed, Allah Mubarak, one good quality that he has, he's very prompt, on time, and sharp. You know, so I kind of disappointed him that I, like, sort of done that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
after, we dealt with the situation, and alhamdulillah, the driver was obviously annoyed because he had other customers to pick up. But we had a nice day. So we arrived
Yeah.
at the
What was your best part of that whole day when we went to Phi Phi Island?
Phi Phi Island. Oh, I think when Barista was about to get called out
Jet ski?
the jet ski because Barista like he
that was your best memory?
yeah, because
You went Phi Phi Island.
jet ski before.
I thought it was.
For me, it was seeing this guy smile, man. When I said I'll come jet ski with you,
Yeah.
that was the best moment. Wallah, look, I didn't promise him anything, but like
You didn't want to go jet ski?
So you didn't want to go
I didn't really feel it, and it was like I think $50 Australian. I'm like, you know what? For half an hour?
half an hour, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Probably not. But then this guy,
Yeah.
wallah, he pressured me. Do you know? Because he reminded me of you know that little cat in Shrek.
Yeah.
You know Shrek when he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that?
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bruh, the way he begged me, and then I made like I started thinking. I'm like, I've been in his shoes in the past. Okay, he hasn't experienced it. I'm like, you know what? And you boys are being a bad buzz as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it for the sake of doing it.
Mashallah.
Wallah, this guy's smile was crazy. He was happy, but I was really happy for
No,
him.
but you also
I remember you guys bargaining.
even after, I think.
You
I think that was quality time for
Yeah.
them as
But
well.
the thing is, I actually loved it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it,
Yeah.
because I always loved doing jet skis.
until the end.
And then, we almost got, what's it called?
Ripped off, okay?
Ripped off, yeah. Oh, not ripped off, but like
Accused.
Scammed.
scammed, yeah.
Yeah.
We got to the jet skis and the guys were checking around the jet skis and he made it very clear, if you damage anything, okay, you're going to be paying a massive fine. It comes to about 5,000 Australian dollars or something, yeah? And it's already happened to me in the past. I know what these guys do, yeah? They're very smart. So I'm like, yeah, let me just go on my jet ski, yeah? So we left. We were jet skiing around, whatever, and then we got back, and then I already knew what was going to happen. I already had this gut feeling, yeah? This guy's, he got off his jet ski, and then he was just watching. The minute I got to like the
Packing up into
to the guys, they started looking around, like smoking. They're like, they started talking in Thai. I'm like, oh, here we go. They said there's a massive scratch on this side. There's like a massive dent underneath, but it was already there from the start, yeah. And then they started pressuring me, and they're like, you hit it. I'm like, brother, I didn't even go close to him. I didn't even go like 2 meters away from him.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? We never went close to each other. You've been watching us the whole time. Yeah. And it was the kid. The kid wasn't involved. He's the one who like.
They just wanted money.
The accusation.
It's scamming, and then they're like, oh, we'll call our boss. So they went and called the boss, and he's like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
But
I think
you
that was
gotta
good.
be-
I think that was good bonding time between you two guys because I think out of everyone on the trip as well, you were the best two bargainers. You get what I mean?
Ideally,
Yeah.
from experience, yeah.
Exactly. And like without you two guys, we probably wouldn't have gone to Phi Phi Island that day.
And I
Sure, you
believe.
guys did plan it.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I can answer how Phi Phi Islands was because they'll talk
Yeah,
about
that's
stuff.
true.
So Phi Phi Islands, obviously known as one of the most beautiful waters in the world and islands.
Mhm.
Honestly, for me, it was the clearest water I've seen.
Mhm.
Maybe Great Barrier Reef was different for you, but it was beautiful. And it was nice going island hopping. It would have been nice to maybe swim more frequently in the water and kind of like jump off the boat in like pretty much the ocean. You know, like you see those videos. But that's more private boats. We got the group boats. I feel like there's a bit of over tourism in the Phi Phi Islands. There's so many different boats and boat groups that were going, and there was just hundreds and maybe even thousands of people in certain islands, which was a bit much. So I think it's always worth going if you're in Phuket, but I don't know if it's worth going to Phuket for that.
Yeah.
There might be other islands, like people say in Malaysia, in Philippines and stuff like that, which could be just as nice with less tourism.
Yeah.
I'll be able to tell you that soon on the Philippines.
Yeah, good plug, by the way. But the tourism is what ruined Phi Phi Island. I agree with you.
Over
with that.
tourism?
Yeah, but it's also one thing that made it good as well, because one of the core memories on the day of Phi Phi Island was like the boat trips with the random strangers that you would never ever meet again, you know? And it's a good way of like connect. We actually probably followed one person that we still have on social media to this day. He might obviously listen to this episode. He'll probably listen to this episode and realize that it's from Thailand and he'll listen to it. But like those core memories with people that you would never ever meet again, like me and this guy were at work the other day and we're going through the Phi Phi Island videos, the boat video, sorry. And then we were laughing at like, the white guy, the bald head, just bopping. Ahmed's mate. We're just dying at it. It's like, if I showed that video to someone else, no one else would like get like the
Share memories, like you said.
Exactly.
I think about that boat one as well.
Yeah.
It's just that because I remember going with my family, like when we go to the Egypt or whatever, we're doing the boat trips and stuff. There will always has to be that one group of friends that just like start a vibe and like and make
And we're
everyone vibe
vibes,
together
yeah.
as well.
We were vibes,
and
yeah.
we were that vibes on
Yeah.
that day. And I was like, that's probably the best.
I
thing
appreciate that.
Wallah, you started it, but it was good that all of us joined.
Oh, thank you. That's the kindest thing you've said to me so far in regards to this trip. No, but I want to do just like one takeaway maybe everyone had from the trip, and then I think I'll end the episode there.
Say yours first.
Wait, do you want Ali to sit in between you guys?
Come sit. No?
Say yours first.
I'm still thinking mine. Yeah.
Look, my main takeaway is, and I always preach this: travel. But when I say travel, you got to travel with your best mates, with a group of people, with work colleagues, your wife, your partner. So for me, just having that experience with you guys was probably one of the best experiences I've had overseas. So yeah, just travel with people, man. That's probably one of the. It's not a takeaway, but it's advice. Yeah.
doing something cultural in the homeland of like that certain place is very like memorable. You know what I mean? Because you'll never ever get that. Because whether we do Muay Thai here, we'll never ever get that. You know what I mean? Similar to, I don't know, if you go to Japan and you do samurai stuff, something cultural. It's like it's very memorable, and they have even though the trainers, they're very passionate about their craft. You know. You still got yours? Still thinking?
I was gonna say maybe travel, but try to get different type of experience with a group of friends, with a family, or even for yourself. Because right now I've done 2, and then the only thing left.
What's left? Your
travel
shorty?
solo.
Oh, yeah. But you haven't travelled with
Your wife.
your wife.
Oh, wife, inshallah as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like to take off the box before you get married, that kind
That's
of thing.
true.
But yeah,
Two left.
because most of you boys have done that, and I think I've only got 1 left. Inshallah.
Solo,
Yeah.
Inshallah. For me, it's probably same obviously thing with investing in experiences, but a big takeaway was maybe living simple. You know, looking at the people in Thailand, alhamdulillah, they looked happy and they lived, maybe in our eyes in the Western world, simple lives, not with too many things, and they seemed like they were happy. So it's not the, desire to invest in more clothes, better cars. Do you remember, see the place when we were training, how the people were showering? And
Yeah.
stuff? When I looked at that, I was like, subhanAllah, they were content with what they had. And they looked happy. So it's more like just the art of living simple and investing in experiences and things you value instead of,
Facts.
consumerism.
I would say for me is embracing the obstacles, as in things not going to plan, like you guys saw. At times, maybe if I was tired, obviously I'm not a person that will speak, and it's kind of more obvious as well. So maybe that's something I can work on. But then it's also advice just embracing and accepting like things aren't always going to go to plan. Like because you always go on a holiday, you're always so excited, you never really think about potential things not going your way. So I would say just kind of expect it and live with it. So
That's good.
yeah.
I think we'll leave the episode there. Just for the listeners, if you've made it this far to the episode, just so I know, if you've made it to this far, comment down below where we should travel next to. That's how I know you'll make it to this far of the episode. Let us know where our next FD Boys trip is going to be. And you guys know the drill. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.